Good morning. I think I can call it a good morning. This is episode 210 of Genius Take the Wheel. And yeah, it's me, Dr. Evil Genius. And I'm gonna actually go out of the spot. I'm a little out of breath, and for good reason. I forgot. I forgot how much different hypertrophy focused training is. I decided that well, before I get into all of that, let me stop being rude. Welcome. I hope that you find this content to your liking. I'm doing my best to offer motivation and information the best I can. And hoping that you guys will join the conversation. If you are part of the replay gang, salute. Thank you very much for supporting what I do here. Hit the like button and all that YouTube algorithm-ish. So I decided on basically when I finished my leg day on Sunday that I was going to switch up my program. And so on the second workout of that, of the day on Sunday, I did all hypertrophy work when I did my back. Hold on, y'all. Important text message coming in. Right, that was weird. That was very weird. Okay, so I was thinking about just continuing on with the program as it was, but I went and visited one of my mentors in New Jersey. And I decided that after consulting with him about the health of my connective tissue in my joints, and talking with him about my approach to my program, I decided to kind of continue on with the second half of what I did on Sunday and just continue to focus on hypertrophy and not be lifting at the bleeding edge of what my body will allow me to lift. So I thought about it, actually pretty much going to bed last night and then getting up today. What would be my starting point? I've been able to do, like on the leg press, today was a leg press day. I was doing 545 for 5 reps. So I'm thinking to myself, well, what would that translate to in a way where, I won't die, where I can get close to death, but not actually die. So I decided that that I would work at 455, and then from there, how many reps would I do? How many reps did I think I could do? So I tried to think in terms of, okay, hypertrophy for me, in the way that I program, starts at 6 repetitions per set. So, how would I be able to proceed and still kind of be on that bleeding edge? And so I thought, I'll do four sets of 6, and that'll be good enough. But the more that I kept thinking, I thought, well, what if I was able to do sets of 8, but I didn't do that and I stopped short? What would that do for my program? And, really thinking about it, I probably would be 3, so I would say about 3 weeks behind where I could have been if I wasn't weak mentally and I went as hard as I knew that I could. And so when it comes to trying to build muscle, it's not about overcoming the resistance. It's about overcoming the fatigue of constantly beating the muscle up. I just came from several months, really. October, November, December, January. I've been basically, several months of just trying to lift as much as I could, between 3 and 5 reps per set. The closest thing to hypertrophy, I guess, would be when I would get to 5 sets of 5, which would signal the end of me at that weight. I would have conquered it to a certain extent that, I needed to move up in weight to continue to keep breaking that glass ceiling that's at every strength level. So, I went from doing, 3 sets of 5 or 4 sets of 5 last time on the leg press at 545. So I moved down to 455, which is 1 plate on each side less. But then I did 4 sets of 8. And that first set was just uncharacteristically painful. It was definitely way more painful than I remember it. But then I kind of keeping in with the custom that I had developed when I did the 2 extra hypertrophy sets on the back end, and dropping the weight. I went from 455, 4 sets of 8, down to 2 sets of 10 at 315, like I did last week when basically finishing up my strength protocol. So it hurt a lot. And I found myself, just trying to get to the end of the sets and then making the mistake of just trying to move the platform, which does bad things to the connective tissue. So I had to refocus myself while I was in the midst of a lot of that pain. And I'll tell you, I got to like the third set at 455, the 4 sets of 8. I got to the third set and I could almost swear my quads were already bigger because the blood rushed to the area, unlike what it normally does when I'm, doing strength weight at strength volumes. But I dropped the weight just a little bit and, really ramped up, the volume. I guess you can also say racked up. That kind of sort of makes sense. And the sun's about to blind me. And it was just something else, y'all. It was the sensations are just, it's fucking brutal, man. I know I stole that word from Steve Cohen, the owner of the New York Mets, but it really was. So I ended up doing, 4 of my working sets, and then, 4 of the working sets, and then 2 extra to put some extra English on the pain. And then I switched up the prone hamstring curl to go, bilateral and hypertrophy focus. So instead of doing 5 reps on my left leg and 4 reps on my right leg, because my left leg is weaker, at 100 pounds, I did the bilateral work, and that was 3 sets of 10 bilateral at 160. And I know I chose a good weight when I did the math, and I know I chose a good weight because when I was getting towards like the 7th repetition on the 3rd set, actually the 9th repetition on set 2 and the 7th repetition on set 3, it was just plain will that willed me through it. And then I couldn't even stand when I finished the set. I basically just melted off the machine. And I'm like, yeah, this hurts. And then after that, to finish it off, I went to do the leg extension. Before I was doing sets of, I think 4 sets of 5 at 205, and I went down to 3 sets of 10. Wow, what a piece of garbage. And he looked me right in my face too, like, what a piece of garbage, man. I was driving in New Jersey yesterday, and there were so many dangerous, aggressive drivers. I really wasn't prepared for it. I stayed in the middle lane and tried to stay as close to the speed limit as possible because everybody around me was doing super unsafe measures on the road. And then this asshole here who thinks that his time is more valuable than everybody else's. Just fucking gross, man. This dude almost caused a collision with me and a head-on collision because he couldn't just wait his fucking turn. Like, we're all in this traffic. Let me not rant too much. I also have to remind myself that certain people are at certain places in life because of the way they live their life. And there's a reason why he's driving the car he's driving. And I'm going to leave it at that. Anyway. So, I went to do the 3 sets of 10 at 160 on the leg extension after all the shit that I did before. And I knew I was in trouble after the first set. I knew I was in trouble. But I also knew that I could do it. I knew that I could perform the movement. But once I got to like the 8th rep on set 2, I was no longer confident. And I had to remind myself, like, I'm doing like these mental inventories, like it's getting rougher and rougher and rougher. What is the problem? And really the only problem that was there was the pain. Like I was still able to perform the function. It's just that it hurt really bad when I was done. And then after set 3, I actually almost went down to one knee because it was almost like I suffered an electrical short in my left leg. And then I wiped down the equipment when I was done. I grab all my stuff. I make an about face to my left. I take 3 steps and I stumble almost completely to the ground because my left leg, my left quad, completely stopped working and stopped supporting my body weight. And I thought, holy crap, I really, really messed myself up. And I mean, I don't think I've ever really done weight like this at these volumes with this kind of focus before. Like I've done hypertrophy at 455 on the leg press. I've done that. I've done, well, I wasn't doing like, hey, thanks for hitting the like button. Whoever hit the like button, I appreciate you. I've done 455 on the leg press. I was never doing 160 bilateral on the leg curl. But the leg extension at 160, yeah, I've done that, but not like this, not with the kind of focus, not with the kind of balance in the approach and in basically the how my muscles are responding in the movement. So I am happy with where I'm at, but that was really painful. But it was worth it. It was worth it. Normally I wait until I get home to eat, but I'm gonna eat a protein bar pretty much when I'm done with this stream, straight up, drink some extra water, because I know that the recovery period on this is going to really, really suck. What's up, M. Rohan? How you doing today? I am Dr. Evil Genius, and it's good to see you. Thank you for coming through the stream today, where I'm talking about different ways to train and the different effects on you. So, in this, I hadn't had a true strength focused mesocycle in a really long time prior to when I started in October. And I mean October 2024. And I can tell you that, I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but there's a method to this madness. If you don't have some kind of fear when you're training, if you're not training hard enough for it to scare you on some level, you're probably not reaching your goals as quickly as you possibly could. If you want to build muscle, you're probably not growing at the rate that you probably could. If you want to get strong, but all of your lifts, you're doing them comfortably, and you're super confident about every lift that you do, you're probably not lifting heavy enough. And I know that sounds even dangerous. And like I tell you guys all the time, you kind of have to toe that line between, being on the bleeding edge of completely failing and knowing your body and not doing anything that's going to get you injured. So there is a fine line there, and I recognize that. And but you have to really be in tune with your body. You have to be taking neurological, mental inventory of what your muscles feel like in all ranges of the motion in all three phases of your repetitions. Can you make growth following a bro split? Absolutely. But here's the thing, right? Because, most guys, when you're talking about a bro split, you're talking about push, pull legs, that as long as you're organized in your approach and you are not just settling for good enough on any particular day where you know what you're supposed to be doing, but he's getting out of my way. I appreciate you. You know what you're supposed to be doing, but you're leaving a lot on the table, then it doesn't really matter what split you're using. You're probably not going to get the most out of it. I'll give you an example. I don't do a bro split. I do a much more non-advisable program where I have 3 very hard leg days throughout the week, and I train upper body every single day, with slight exceptions to when my body is super fatigued. I might skip the second workout of a Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, or if I'm super fatigued on a day where I'm only supposed to train once that day, which is just upper body. If I'm really beat up, I might just skip that day and take one full rest day. But it's really just me taking inventory of how my body feels day to day. Like basically when I get up in the morning, regardless of what time I'm getting up in the morning, I'm taking inventory of what my body has capacity for, and that decides whether or not I train that day. So it is usually not advisable for you to train every day. Most people would say, and I would agree with, the sweet spot for training is like 4 to 5 times a week. But for me, I'm much older and I'm not the most strong. I don't have the strongest of wills. I don't really enjoy training the way, the elite few really enjoy the training. So I have to train every day or I risk not training at all. So, if you're asking, can you get gains on a bro split? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think a lot of us actually start out. Just want to make sure that I am in the right spot. A lot of us start out with splits like that, and you can keep going. But the thing is, you just have to make sure that in your program that thank you so much. You have to make sure that you are not settling for good enough. If you're doing a push day, and let's say you're doing, chest first and then shoulder second, it's super duper important for you to make sure that on most days that you're training, because you're talking about growth, so you're asking about hypertrophy. You want to build muscle. Are you adding repetitions to your sets? Are you adding sets to your session? That is your question. Something needs to go up on a regular basis. Pause. So, for instance, let's say, you're benching 225, which is everybody's, favorite go-to. You're benching 2 plates and you're doing 3 sets of 10. How long have you been doing that 3 sets of 10? That's number 1. Number 2, how often do you attempt to go to 11 reps on your first set? How often do you make use of the rest pause or the Maya reps? Right? How much are you willing to push to where when you get to the end of your set, you're not sure if that last rep is going to go up? How close to failure do you get? So it doesn't matter if you're doing a bro split. It doesn't matter if you're doing starting strength. It doesn't matter if you're working with a trainer and he's writing your program for you. I hate writing programs for clients. I'd rather just work with you straight up. But when you take a tally, when you are looking at your program and you're writing down every rep that you did, every set that you did, are you doing the same number of sets, the same number of reps at the same rest periods with the same tempo? What are you doing to make your training more difficult than the last time? I know that's a Greg Doucettism. I get it. But he's right. Are you training harder than last time? So, for instance, like, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I did 4 sets of 8 at 455 on the leg press, 2 sets of 10 at 315 on the leg press. What is going to be my approach next week? Well, today was extremely fucking painful. My legs hurt so much just from driving. Just from operating the gas and the brake pedal, my legs feel like trash right now. But I'm going to have to be honest with myself next Tuesday when I come back to this machine. I did 4 sets of 8. Can I now do 4 sets of 9? That's my target for next week. And today, my legs almost completely stopped working. So I know I'm on the bleeding edge. But is that going to stop me from trying to add 1 rep to all my sets next week? No. And the thing is that when I want to quit in the middle of the set, I always have to ask myself, why do I want to quit in the set? Is it because my joints don't feel good? No. Is it because I feel unstable and I think that if I do another rep, I could possibly have a catastrophic injury? No. Is it because the weight is too heavy? No. Is it because it's very painful? Yes. Keep working. It's just pain. It's just pain. If, like, especially like on the leg press, if you are still getting very strong contractions, but the grunts are getting louder, but the contractions are still strong, then do the next fucking rep. Keep working. There's no reason for you not to keep working. And then when you're done, and you know that you went at least close to your limit, within 1 or 2 repetitions before you just can't do anymore, your job is to add to that total when you come back to this movement the next time around. That's your job. And if you go into it and you physically can't do any more than the last time, then you need to review what you're eating, how often you're eating, and how you're handling stress and sleep when you're not training. Because it's usually one or more of those factors. M. Rohan goes on to say, I'm tracking my workouts and I try to push myself for more reps every week. And that's why you're going to win. That's why you're going to win. But I will also tell you this too. Hold up. Wait a minute. I got to see what these parking regulations are. I can't see the signs because it looks like somebody's about to move. If that guy moves, hold on, y'all. I gotta see if I can get a. Oh, I think he's leaving, and I think I know why he's leaving. And I'm gonna throw it in the drive.
Is it this side?
Because today's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Yep, he's leaving this parking spot. Yay, we good, son. Oh, the luck. The luck is insane. The luck is insane, y'all. Oh my God, parking luck in New York City. Holy crap. Holy crap, the luck. Oh man. The luck I have today. Holy crap. Now nobody's gonna bother you. Today's a good day because my legs hurt really bad. Okay, back to what I was saying. I got a better parking spot. Let me see. Yeah, man, I completely understand you. Most people at the gyms don't train until failure. Yeah, and the thing is, there's a nice little sweet spot because I don't want to have people thinking that I'm dissing them for not training to failure. You can get crazy gains, albeit slightly slower, if you get to within a rep or two of failure. So if you don't want to take chances with your life, like I'm taking chances with my life, you don't have to make sure that you're melting off the machine to prove that you're working hard enough. Your job is to make sure that you are improving in one of these 4 metrics every single time. Number of reps, tempo of reps, rest periods. So number of reps, number of sets, tempo of reps, rest periods. Oh, and did I hit that right? Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. I'm oxygen depleted. Number of reps, number of sets, tempo of the repetitions in the set, and how much rest period do you need? Yeah, in those 4 areas. If you are improving in one or more of those areas, keep going. And I know a lot of guys, when they keep track of the training, they basically just count reps and sets. I also want you guys to track these other 3 things, not just your reps and your sets. I want you to track the tempo of your reps, because a rep that takes longer to complete is harder to do. So if you can count how long it takes for you to go through the eccentric phase of the rep, and you can go longer the next time, then that's the way that you are improving in that particular session. So the tempo of the rep is one thing that you guys should be writing down, because M. Rohan here says that he's already tracking his workouts. So I know that you are, the resistance, the number of sets, and the number of reps, right? That's the easy stuff. But tracking the tempo of the reps, how much rest period is needed in between sets. If you are ready to go quicker if all things are equal, you are able to get into the next set quicker with less rest period. That means you're advancing. And then the other thing that I think that you guys should track is RPE. What is RPE? RPE stands for rate of perceived exertion. So the way that I explain it to my clients is that RPE is like the pain scale for fatigue in your training. So you'll go to the doctor and they'll say to you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does this hurt? 1 being, almost nothing, and 10 meaning, let's go shopping for caskets, right? And then you're expected to try to, let the doctor know how much pain you're in by using that scale. Well, the RPE scale works really with the same principle, only one being you're wasting your goddamn time, and 10 meaning seek medical attention. So I never advocate for people to go to 10, but if you can get to 9.5 to 9.7 every now and again, it'll probably be for the best. So if you have everything being equal, but each set feels easier to complete every single time you go into the gym, then now it's time to bump something else up. Now it's time to start looking at your program and saying, well, this doesn't feel as difficult, but then again, the human psyche also plays a role too. Your body doesn't want to do more work. It wants to get more benefit with less work. So if it feels easy, it's going to then feel easier to stay where you are. It's going to be easier for you to say, you know what? I'm happy at 225 in the bench. I'm just going to hang out here. I feel good. 3 sets of 10. I leave the gym. I get to go on Narcigram and brag to everybody. Yeah. Or you could say, is there a 4th set I can do? And what am I willing to sacrifice in terms of the amount of pain to get an extra 10 reps per session or an extra rep per set? How badly do I want to be better than I was the last time I sat on this bench? What are my dreams? Am I happy with a 225 bench? Or am I looking at 315? You may never even meet 315. But if you're thinking in your brain, 315, I'm pushing for that, then you're not going to be settling for 3 sets of 10 at 225 for 8 years straight. You're going to say, you know what? I need that 4th set, and I need to do whatever I need to do to get to 245 on the bench. Even if it's only for 6 repetitions, I'm going to gun for it. I want it. I want it that bad. So a lot of it is mental. Do you want to grow more than you want to stop being in pain? That's a question you got to ask yourself. What kind of pain are you in? Is it joint pain? Is it connective tissue pain? Or is it muscle belly pain? If it's the first two, you're in trouble. Stop doing what you're doing, reevaluate. But if the only thing that you're going through is, wow, this muscle burns really bad, and I really wish I was doing anything but this right now, then do the next fucking rep. Yes, it's uncomfortable. If it was comfortable, everybody would be doing it. Do you know what's more comfortable for people? Ozempic and a needle. That's what's more comfortable for people. But if you want to be above average, when comparing yourself to other people or a previous version of yourself, it's only pain. It's only discomfort. Do the next rep. If you're doing 3 sets of 10, dedicate yourself 5 more minutes in the gym to get that last set of 10. If you don't want to do that, dedicate an extra 90 seconds to adding 1 rep to your sets of 10. Oh, I got the 3 sets of 10. Give me 3 sets of 11 now. Talk to me about what that pump feels like when you're controlling the bar, you're controlling the rep on the eccentric. Super slow, super painful, super big, painful fucking squeezes. And then when you're done, talk to me about what that pump feels like. Does the pump look and feel better than the discomfort that you had to go through to get it? If the answer is no, stay the same size and strength that you're at? If the answer is yes, let's go get some fucking gains together. Let's go do this. But I can tell you, I came from the max strength side of things when I first became a trainer. And it was because I'm lazy. You only have to do a few reps, a few sets, and you're done. And you get to feel good about yourself. But this hypertrophy shit, damn it. That was my Lawrence Fishburne imitation. This high table shit. You cut the king, you better cut him to the quick. You're gonna have to go for it, guys. You're gonna have to learn to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's that simple. And when you get comfortable hunting for the discomfort, that's when you win. All right, y'all, I got to get up out of here. Thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate y'all. I got to get to work and train a client. So, yep, I'm up out of here. Thank y'all so much for supporting. And I will catch you on Thursday for episode 211. That's the hack squat day. For more tips and tricks, put your comments in the section down below. And I'll check you out in the next one.